In a public meeting tonight, the South Lane School District board members voted to approve 16 new teachers, and while Angela Kendall was still instated, they were the only one with opposing votes. The district process of approving all new teachers at once has raised some questions in the Cottage Grove community, while the recent hire of a transgender teacher at London Elementary School, who is Kendall, has created some controversy. But as KEZI 9 News reporter Joey Vaca explains, this is actually a common practice.
We don't talk about individual staff members in public.
Approving all new hires at one time is nothing new in the South Lane School District, and it hasn't been for quite some time.
It's always been in the consent agenda, and the list of hires is in consent agenda with many other consent agenda items, and they usually just vote to approve the whole consent agenda.
A consent agenda is one made up of a number of different points combined into one big item. The board votes to approve the item in its entirety, and the list of new hires is usually a part of it. But as Curtis explains, new hires aren't the only thing on that list.
It's a list that includes leaves, resignations, and new hires. Once they've held their discussion in the executive session, we'll adjourn that session and open into our public session.
That public session does not allow for comment, but the public is able to see the board's decision.
Then one of the board members will make a motion on the agenda item. And then once there's a second, they can have discussion, but it will be limited, very limited at that point, because they can't discuss individual staff members.
The superintendent tells me having new teachers up for approval be a part of the consent agenda is just how they've done things. And she says there's no reason to change that.
We have a process that is aligned with law. That we get, if we have any questions, we check in with our attorneys. It's the same one all school districts use across Oregon and probably across the country. I don't know that.
Curtis says she has more experience with this consent agenda format than just with her time in the South Lane School District.
I've been in multiple school districts, and it's always handled through consent agendas, so there would not be a change.
Reporting in Cottage Grove, Joey Vaca, KEZI 9 News.